Yo, what's good with y'all? Happy to do this interview. We got my man Corey Stephenson here. I know who he is, but for the people who may not know who he is, can you introduce yourself to the people?
What's up? I'm Corey Stevens. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. You know, I hoop, FIU.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Draft prospect in the making. You know, you've done a lot of good workouts, so I appreciate him doing this sit down with me. I want to start off by asking you about your adolescent years. I know you grew up in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah.
Did you grow up in a two-parent household?
No, I ain't grew up in a two-parent household. I had my mama was there, and my nana, I call her my nana. My grandfather was for a little bit until he passed, so my father passed too, but it was my mama and my nana for the most part.
Yeah. How was it growing up in Birmingham? You know, I know the city you're from, you know, is known for hard-working people, you know. So how was it growing up in Birmingham?
It was cool. My upbringing was cool. You know, my nana and my mama, they really tried to make sure I had everything. You know, my uncle. So it was cool. It was smooth. My mama and my nana worked real hard. You know, they both nurses, so they worked real hard. Tried to give me what I wanted. So it was smooth.
Are those the two people who taught you about, like, you know, the hard work, what it takes to, like, you know, be successful in life?
I say I get a lot of it from there because my mama and my nana, they going to work anyway, every time. Like, sick, it don't matter, they always going to work. So that's how I was like, you know, no matter how I'm feeling, I'm gonna go to work. And my work is basketball, so yeah.
Absolutely. I want to go ahead and fast forward to your high school. You know, I seen that you were really good in high school, you know, average right at 26 points a game, you know, 10 rebounds, almost 3 assists, or excuse me, 3 steals and 3 blocks a game, which is crazy numbers. You know what I mean? So it really shows that, you know, you do it on both sides of the floor. But unfortunately, you didn't get any, like, Power 5 offers.
I ain't get no D1 offers. I ain't get nothing. I ain't get nothing but JUCO, man. I was like number 2 in the state. I was top 10 in the whole Alabama. And I'm like one of the only ones that ain't go D1.
Yeah, how did that shape your outlook on that? You know, did you start playing with a little bit more intensity, a little bit more fire because you were overlooked that way?
No, I always had that. That's how I was so good, because I had a little more, you know, than everybody else, because I wanted more than everybody else. And, you know, it ain't no problem at all. I was happy to go to college anyway.
Yeah. You went your first year JUCO. Can you kind of talk about how that year went? You know, you started off really hot, you know, as a freshman, averaging over 17 points a game. So how was that experience in JUCO?
It was smooth, you know. JUCO was like, they said JUCO real bad. It ain't terrible, you know. It's just not ain't D1. So it's cool, you know. Gym ain't that easy to get into, ain't that easy to access. But man, you just gotta stay focused and hoop, and I stay real focused. So, yeah.
When you said the gym not being as accessible, so did you just try to get in some work wherever you could find a court, you know, wherever you could find a gym to get a lift in?
Yeah, for sure. I always gotta get that in everywhere. You know, I love to hoop, so when we hooping outside, I still hoop outside now. It don't really matter to me, man. Or if I hoop, we hoop.
Yeah, you better than me. I don't hoop outside no more, man. I'm too old for that, man. I'm like, man, I ain't scraping my knees up on no concrete.
That's what shaped me, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
For real.
Yeah. And then your second 2 years, you went to school in California.
Yeah.
What was that experience like?
It was kind of like JUCO for me. It was like growing up, for real. It was a lot of growing up I had to do out there. And, you know, just me as a human, you know. Outside of basketball, it was a lot of growing up I had to do, being so far from home. I asked my mama and my nana, I asked my uncle, I ain't asked nobody for nothing, so I'm out there by myself. I ain't, you know, college student. You know, we ain't get no NIL, for sure. So, you know, it was a lot of growing up.
Yeah. Well, you know, you made a big transition and you came over here to FIU in April 2025. You made that commitment. Why did you choose FIU? And I think it paid off, but do you think that transition paid off for you?
I chose FIU because I like the play style. You know, I think it's a lot of good players, but I feel like, you know, you can go to a team, you can be somewhere, and the play style is not that good for you, and it don't fit you, and you ain't gonna be able to shine. I feel like FIU play style was gonna let me shine. So I talked to coach, my boy JV. I talked to JV, and man, he was gonna let me, you know, shine. So I'm like, yeah, man, I'm coming over here. Because I've been to hoop, I get active.
Yeah, I seen you talked about that a little bit in the interview prior where, you know, they talked about your 3-point shooting percentage, how, you know, over here at FIU, they allowed you to shoot more threes and they let you know that we want you to be yourself and basically just kind of take over and, you know, shoot more threes.
Yeah.
And you shot it right at 40%. this year?
I feel like I could have shot higher than 40%. Not being cocky, but you know, I shot a lot of grenades. I done shot some half-court shots. I done rushed a couple. You know, I shoot a lot of shots. So if I was really shooting for percentage, I could have shot way higher. So I think.
Shout out to W for sponsoring this video. They have a jitterless energy blend. They have mouth-watering flavors, 0 sugars, no artificial flavors, great for mental focus and mental clarity. I personally use it as a pre-workout. I use it when I'm sitting down thinking about content ideas, and also if I didn't get sleep the night before. Use promo code Abdul Wahab at checkout, get 10% off, and thanks to W for sponsoring this video.
I'm a natural, I can shoot, you know, I work on my game a lot, so.
Yeah, I want to ask you about, because obviously we hoop with you over at the rec, you know, when you have some time, you'll come over there, hoop with us, you know. Off the court, people may not know this, but, you know, you're super chill guy, super cool, always laughing, always having fun. But when you step on this basketball court, it's like a switch change.
Yeah.
Where does that come from? Where does that stem from?
Cause it's like, for one, I like to compete. You know, I like to win. So it's like, you know, when we playing, you know, I like to win anything. So this is what I'm best at. This is what I'm the best at. So to lose is something this is my you know, my thing. I don't like that. So, you know, it's kind of like, that's where the switch come in at. But you know, outside of this, man, I'm chilling, man.
Yeah. Even when I walked up to you and I was asking you to interview, you know, before I could even finish my sentence, you was like, yo, let's do it.
Yeah, man, let's do it, man. I ain't got no ego problem or nothing. We could do it. Anything. I ain't charge nobody, nothing. No type of things like that, you know.
Yeah, you definitely play with a crazy fire. You know, you're always super energetic when you're on the court, knocking down threes, especially when you get a good dunk. I want to talk about when you made that game-winning shot. Actually, right over there against Missouri State. How was that for you? Because at that point in the game, I think I seen you were like maybe like 1 for 4 from 3. What gave you the confidence to still shoot that shot and to still knock it down after, you know, not really having one of your best games?
You know, shot is a shot. I ain't looking at no box score. I ain't looking at how many shots I done missed until end of the game. After the game, they like, you shouldn't have shot this. Other than that, every time I shoot, I think I can make it. So, you know, and I got the ball right there. I think we had just played Liberty the day before that, or the 2 days before that. I missed the game winner there. And then it was like a game before that, I think. It wasn't the game winner, but it was like a big shot and I missed. So my boy KB was all like, man, you ain't clutch, man. You can't hit no big shot. So I got that bit, had his hand down, punish him, you know?
Yeah, got to. Was that your first game winner that you've hit, like in college?
In college, I had one in JUCO. I had one in JUCO. I don't think I had no other game winner.
Yeah. As kids, I'm sure you've probably done this too, where you know you're playing on a little hoop outside or you hoop inside the house. You know, you do the little countdown in your head, 3, 2, 1. You shoot. Everybody say Kobe. How does that feel to actually shoot that type of shot for it to be? You know, I believe it was a televised game. How does it feel to actually hit that shot? And then, like, what are the emotions that go through you after you hit a big time shot and come through clutch for your team?
It feels great. That's probably one of the best feelings, you know, shooting a game winner, because it's like you just really sealed the deal. You the reason y'all won, you know. So it's like it feels good, real good.
Yeah. Going through this draft process, you know, you've had a lot of workouts with a lot of different teams. I think you just finished with your 7th one.
Yeah.
You just had your second
8,
one with the Lakers.
I think 8, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 8, maybe some 8. You don't know.
How has that process been for you? You know, obviously, you know, working so hard, coming from high school, going to JUCO, you know, finishing out a great year here at FIU. Yeah. How does it feel to get that recognition and you be flying back and forth with these teams and, you know, be that much closer to your dream of being in the NBA?
I don't even know, man. I'm still kind of in the middle of it, you know. Yeah. It feel good, because, you know, like, I wouldn't say I ain't supposed to be here, because I feel like I am, but it's like at the same time, a lot of people thought I was, you know, I went junior college. A lot of people thought, you know, I had a bad attitude. I wasn't going to be where I'm at now. So, you know, it's kind of like, once you prove everybody wrong, you know, that's why I be so happy and so energetic, because it's like, well, I'm just happy to be here for real. I'm really happy to be here and compete.
Yeah, I've told you off camera that, you know, my home team, I want you to go to the Pacers. You know what I mean? I think that'd be dope. You know, a lot of people have been saying that you're a 3-and-D guy. Do you think that's an accurate assessment of your game?
Yeah.
Or what do you think about that label on you?
I feel like it's accurate. I feel like I'd be I feel like I'd be like foolish to like go against it, because you know a lot of people say it, so they see it. That's what they seeing. So I think it's pretty accurate.
What is a part of your game that you still want to improve on, that you think that you can get a little bit better?
A little bit better. I just probably say defense. You know, everybody wants somebody to play defense.
Yeah.
And especially if I'm trying to go to the NBA, I lock in on defense. You know, I get out there on that court, and you know, the offense come with that.
Yeah. What do you like to do outside of basketball? You know, do you like to go bowling, skating? What do you like to do outside of basketball?
I think like what I mainly do outside of basketball, I listen to music. I watch movies and stuff like that. But like, I feel like having fun and stuff, it just depends on who I'm around, you know. So with my people, it's like, man, we could do anything. It don't matter what we doing, because we're gonna have fun. We could be walking outside, or we could be, you know, bowling or something. It's all gonna be fun, because, you know, I'm with my people.
Yeah.
But, you know, just chilling. Just be chilling for real. I like music a lot.
Yeah. Seeing how you interact with your teammates and stuff, you know, I can tell that they look to you as a leader, you know. How have you embraced that role, and have you always looked at yourself as a leader?
Yeah, I think I'm a leader. My mama always tell me I'm a leader. My nana always tell me I'm a leader. So I think I'm a leader, and I try to lead by example too, you know, more than words, you know. I use words, but I feel like you can use words, and especially me, I want to see it, you know. Like if I'm being led by somebody, I want to see that you feel me? You got to be with it too. So when I go practice hard, and I hope everybody, you know, that's watching me, they gonna practice hard, because I am, you know.
Yeah. So, yeah. I want to ask you something that's a little bit more unconventional. You know, I see the work that you put in. You know, like I said, you play with us at the rec. You know, we know you work out a couple of times a day.
Yeah.
How would you deal with a teammate who that you see is not coming in the gym, is not working as hard? You know, as a leader, how would you approach that situation to be like, yo, let's get it in, because, you know, obviously you need your teammates, so
for sure,
that's gonna go into the team's success. How would you approach that situation?
Well, you gotta let them know you need them. Feel me? Hey, bro, it's big. I mean, I need you to hit this shot right here. I need you to do this right here. So, gotta get in here, man. You can't force nobody to do nothing. That's one thing you can't do. But you gotta let them know you need them. You gotta be more positive than, you know, than you know, negative with them. You gotta say it in the right way. But bro, we need you. Like, we need you, you know. So I approach it in a positive way.
Yeah. What are some things that people may or may not know about Corey Stephenson that hasn't been broadcast before, or just, you know, something that you think about yourself that, like I said, the people don't know?
I don't think people know like I'm as approachable as I am. A lot of people, like, I don't think I look bad, but I got all these tattoos, man.
Yeah.
I be probably, my regular face probably like a regular, you know? So I don't think people know I'm as approachable as I am, but I'm really cool people, man.
Yeah, I would definitely say that for sure. You know, some people may look at you or think that you may be Hollywood, but you're definitely very approachable. You know, even when you come in a rec, you know, you don't look at it like, I'm better than all y'all in here, even though you are. You know, you dap everybody up, you know, you greet everybody, you smile, and, you know, make jokes with everybody. So I definitely say, no, for sure. That's that Southern hospitality.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Just to wrap it up, what is anything else that you may want NBA teams to see, or just anybody who's watching, that you can tell them some words of motivation or anything that you want to end off on?
I don't know. I just say work hard. Work hard. That's how you can't get nothing. You ain't gonna get. I got it on my neck. Success is earned. You ain't gonna get nothing if you don't work hard. So, you know, you gotta earn success. And when it ain't going right, you gotta keep going. Like, you know, because you're gonna take some L's.
Absolutely. Hey, I appreciate you doing this sit down with me, man. It was super dope to even get to learn a little bit more about you, you know what I mean? I had to do a deep dive for this interview, so I appreciate you doing that for me.
Appreciate you, man.
So for anybody who's looking to keep up with you on your journey and stuff like that, where can people find you?
STB Corey everywhere. STB, Corey, everywhere. Corey Stephenson, if not that.
Yeah, man. Check him out. Like I said, he's doing a whole bunch of workouts. Great player, even better person. So definitely check him out. You know what I mean? Y'all definitely gonna be seeing more of him for sure.